I'm on it, I'm on it, I'm on the street.
Boy beats.
I'm on it,
Man, I told y'all niggas y'all ain't ready, man. We can't be stopped.
on the strip.
Slaughterhouse Entertainment.
Let me see your bottle. Yeah. Oh, you got your own shit, right?
What up? It's Raw Way. It's the Raw Way Show podcast. And I'm your host, Raw Way, aka the Big Homie. And on the other side of me, I got your boy.
This is Paul Clark, that born and raised Lincoln Parker. And it's my man's birthday weekend. You see him over there with the Jack.
Yeah, we drinking Jack this weekend.
Beat on a bitch tonight.
That's a black man's recipe. You know
I got his bail money. He gonna smack the shit out of
I
somebody.
got bail money in my pocket. Put it like,
Pow! What was that?
But I told you I'm not violent on Jack, so quit it.
I'm advertising that.
Yeah.
Last 7 times I seen you get some shit, you had one of them bottles in your hand.
But it wasn't, it happened.
Yeah.
So, man, this is a beautiful day today. You know, I usually talk shit about how gloomy it is when we come to shoot the show. I don't give a fuck if it's the middle of the summertime or whenever it is. But today, the sun is shining. And I think today the sun is shining because we got a son in the house. And I don't mean by a son as a boy. I mean someone else, a star, a bright star that shines. You understand? From our city, a legendary man from a legendary family, done legendary things. And we're excited to have him in the building with us today. It's highly anticipated expose. Man, Playboy, what's going on about that? And I want to give it to you because he's here with us, my man for years, Mario Big Bro Gibbs.
What's up, bro, man?
What's up with you, baby?
I'm right.
It's good to see you,
How you
man.
doing,
Man.
Appreciate you.
That nigga's handshake is just huge. I didn't even see my hands no more.
He's a big guy, ain't he? Like, man, a linebacker?
Tiny in line.
Tiny, oh, okay.
Nose guard at one point.
Put your hands on me. I'm telling your mom. Tell us when you.
Did you get that a lot when you was young, growing up? Like, Mario hit me.
You always get told on.
I appreciate that. Also, before we go any further, we gotta give it to the man without no other behind the camera. Playboy, without him, there's no us. The ghost technician.
What up?
His name changes from week to week. Technical ghost technician. I call him Ghost because he got the ghost trail. So, cheers to you, Playboy. And we're going to cheers to my birthday and black excellence. Yeah.
That nigga ain't do shit on his birthday, the whole weekend. What you doing? Nothing. It's a whole Saturday.
I don't do much. So, I want to jump right in there, man. Because I know you're a busy man. You got shit to do. Something always pondered in my head, like growing up. I never asked y'all, but I always assumed when we was kids, you know, we used to go to Mr. Ogretree's store. Was Mr. Ogretree your grandfather?
No, he wasn't our grandfather. We was adopted grandchildren from him.
Where?
Yeah.
All my life I thought Mr. Ogretree was y'all grandfather.
Legally?
Well, not legally, streetwise, you know.
Yeah.
Can I explain how that happened?
Yeah, that's why I asked. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, back in 78, my father owned a car wash right there on Champion and Livingston and turned it into a family car wash, a hand car wash.
Right.
And the Ogretrees owned the building, the store, and they had a record shop, they had a beauty salon.
So he owned the whole
He
strip.
owned the whole strip.
Right.
And his daughters and sons and them worked it and ran it.
Right.
And one of his daughters named Linda Ogretree, may God bless her soul, she took us on, me and my brothers, by us having our car wash on the end over there, and we was close to the store and all the rest of the business. Of course, we formed and going to the store and everything, and Linda took a liking to us and whatnot, and the Ogretrees took a liking to us, and we just merged it like family.
So y'all used to work in the car wash growing up and all that.
Yeah.
That brings up memories and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because they had a commercial. You know what I'm saying? And my uncle Daryl Roddy, he worked there. And we would see him on the commercial. We just knew he was famous. That's our uncle right there. That's him right there.
Wow.
Well, I didn't even know that. That's something crazy.
Commercial.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
I didn't know that either.
That was you saying that I didn't know because that car wash had been there for years, and I remember riding my bike past it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that was in the beginning from jump, that was your dad's at first. I didn't know that
They
shit.
made it into a hand car wash. It used to be a gas station.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it still had the gas pumps and all that,
Wow.
and it still had the drive-through wash stuff in there. I remember us being young, going there, watching our uncles, my dad, and them, and their friends tear it all down.
Because later on in life, somebody had it where you could pull it in there to get washed too, wasn't it? Like
Yeah, well,
that?
after
Later
us,
in the 90s.
well, after us, Ben took over, and he ran it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. So, y'all from the neighborhood. We from the same neighborhood. Paul Clark from Lincoln Projects. So they ain't like us over there where we at. So, but we still all ended up in some of the same school.
It was the north side.
Y'all lived up north back then?
No, we just had a problem with the north side. We had a problem with nobody.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I get that shit to
when
you.
I was at the rink and then stuff, Adrian Jones got us jumped every weekend, you know what I'm saying? And it was so many north side motherfuckers that, like, I was counting. Our back was to the wall. I'm like 16, 7, 27, 28. I'm counting these motherfuckers. And then out of nowhere, when we start fighting, out of nowhere, I remember Richard Rosedale jumped over the thing. It was Papa. I'm watching Southfield jump in. I'm watching motherfuckers from South jump in. I'm watching people from the terrace jump in. You know, so that made it kind of like way
So
even.
what school y'all growing up? What school did y'all go to? Did y'all go to Southwood Briggs or?
Well, actually, my brother Chuck went to Walnut Ridge, and then he ended up going to Independence and graduated from Independence. We moved all over, but we ended up moving to East Haven, and so I went to Walnut Ridge. I got kicked out for extortion. I didn't even extort the guy.
I knew this big motherfucker was big for no reason. You used all your shit.
No, listen to him. Actually, I didn't do anything. At least I didn't think I did anything.
Extortion.
And so from there, I went to the year program. I did a whole 4 year there.
Remember that.
That's when it was off of West Broad Street, a little elementary school where you had to go to work for half the day and go to school the other half.
In there, but that was the name, right? Like,
Yeah, the year program.
and the year program.
Actually, that's where I met everybody else in the streets. Later on in my life, bumping into, things we were doing or whatnot, but I met them at the year program. That's so
Did you
funny.
extort them also?
Yeah, I extorted them too.
exactly.
You know,
You big for no reason. I
from the
can't
Southeast
come.
side,
You
man.
gonna
That's
pay me
what
for
we
this
did.
shit right here that safety.
That was my next question.
Then I went to Independence. I can't leave Independence. I went to Briggs, and then from Briggs, I didn't like Briggs, and I went to Independence. And then the dope game came, and I skipped school at T.
Right, okay. Because that's what I was going to say. Like, did all y'all go to the same school? But no, you just set that off.
Me and Wood did. We went to
Okay.
Independence at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And this is an unusually big guy right here. I actually jacked our seats up on purpose before he got here, you know what I'm saying? So we could be like level,
still.
you know what I'm saying? Like, we shake hands, you won't see my hand anymore. It just disappears.
But I said, I was like, you big busy.
I don't want them hands on me. Like,
You ain't
stop.
got to fix that chair. He a big
Big
deal.
deal.
All right.
Quit it.
So,
Ouch.
so, being from the southeast side, y'all don't went to Briggs, you don't went to Briggs, you don't went to Independent. What gang was y'all with back in those days? Who or was y'all in any gang? Because we all from the neighborhood. You might be affiliated or cool with people.
Right.
Don't necessarily mean you in it, but
We really wasn't in no gang. I was in a, of course, us living off of Livingston, the Freeze Crew. They have their territory, Sean Gordon, Loon, Rick Anderson, Lee Anderson, and them. And Mike Padge, legendary Mike Padge.
rest in peace, man.
Yeah. But Tim Bell.
You was a part of it?
They much older than I am. I'm 51 years old, so they're a little bit older than I am. But we all learned from them, watched them. They're from the same neighborhood.
Bad influence.
You know what I'm saying? Yep.
They came to the project, I don't know whether it's just a chill or whatever and shit, but it was harmless and all that right there, and we knew them. I remember my mom, and I said this on the podcast before and shit, and she just came outside all frantic and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all get y'all's ass in the house. The Freeze Crew is out here. And I know these. I'm like, huh? But I went in the house.
So that was that before the Capital City Breakers or after?
That was literally kind of like after the Capital City Breakers. Capital City Breakers was first. But we knew all of them still during the Capital City Breaker and all
Because all that was like like kind of mixed and mingled all
It
at
was
the
kind of
same
mixed and
time.
mingled
like,
around the same time.
Yeah,
Correct. You
that
know,
Eastern skate ring and all
all
that.
that. Yes.
I was a little nigga though. Looking like,
I feel old.
Dancing. That's when they took skating out the way and just turned it into
I was-
a whole dance floor.
Yeah, I was telling people that like when we went to the skating rink, you didn't skate at your own risk. It had a sign up there, skate, because you would
Yeah.
get busted in your shit
Oh,
with some
yeah.
skates and they would jump you and
Yeah.
So what year was that? Like,
this is in the 80s.
Yeah,
No, I'm
early
saying-
80s. 81, 82, 83. Let me tell you this. Before breakdancing came, we would go to the skating rink was the spot for us.
Right.
Everybody hung at the skating rink on Saturdays, and then they go up north. I don't know what day up north, but either Friday or Sunday.
It was so uncomfortable.
And yeah, we didn't really go up north.
Nah,
we
you
stayed at
did.
ours at East Skating
Yeah.
Rink, and we had fun.
because during those years, you speaking of, we wasn't living in the neighborhood no more. We had moved out off Elaine Road on Larry's place. So I was still the baby boy, but my brother and them, you know, we go to East Skating Rink from out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like we were detached from the neighborhood because we had moved out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then,
Closer to the rink.
yeah, closer to the rink. And then, you know, we moved back later on and stuff.
Right.
You know.
But y'all was in Elaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Off Elaine
What year
Road.
was Elaine Road? Because I used to be out there all the time, too. Elaine.
We was out there for a stint. 'Cause I remember I got on my birthday out there. See, birthday time. Back then, I got a bike. I was like 7
What
out
year
there.
did you think that
So,
was?
It's like 85 or 84.
It's
no,
85.
I gotta be early, something like that, because I was 7. We
We was
moved
getting
from
jumped in 85 and
We
86.
moved from Linwood
Elaine.
to Elaine.
I used to be out there around that time, too. I had a cousin named Benny Danner. And we used to hang out.
Yeah.
Benny, Black Benny.
Yeah. Skate.
Oh, what?
That's my cousin.
With the fucking Benny, the head spinning Benny.
Yeah.
That can head spin good as
Probably
fuck.
could.
Used to skate real
Yeah,
good.
Benny, dark skin.
Yeah.
They lived in the apartments next to
Yeah.
Gene.
Hear that? We talking about you,
Yeah.
They
baby.
lived
That
on
is-
like the end. They lived like on the end part.
Yeah, right before that little hill right
Yeah.
there.
I used to be out there all the time. We probably know each other from back
Yeah,
then when we was
yeah.
young.
Cause Benny
Yeah.
had the illest head spin, man. With Benny head spin, he used to pull his arms together.
Oh yeah.
Like this, he'd be like
Yeah.
real fast.
Benny
Now you
Danner,
do it
man.
again.
So
Nah, that's how it was sitting, man. You know, he was dope. You know, our little breaking crew out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I used to always be out there. That was my favorite cousin. So I stayed with him.
And you probably did too, cause
Yeah.
y'all older than y'all, so I probably wasn't even all the way in that
Right.
place. But
Y'all got me feeling so
How old
old.
you guy?
52.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm old.
That's all like that right
That's
now.
talking about the year program.
Y'all,
He talking about the year program, Tico, and all that kind of shit right here. I feel so old. I remember
my
that.
grandfather ran Tico. Fred Malley.
I remember the biker short era. Yeah.
What?
Biker
All the
short.
biker shorts.
but then you know,
I never wore them. I did wear a couple here and there, but I wasn't really off the streets. I stayed on both sides of Livingston. I stayed on the southeast side, and I stayed off Fairwood too. My mom is from Fairwood and Livingston, so I used to be at my mom's parents' house all the time.
They wore biker shorts there too, didn't they?
But
But I'm
not,
about to say, you
the
wasn't
biker
really-
shorts was really on Main
You
Street.
can't have no
That's
money
how
in
the
the
beach
biker
That
clothes
was
came out.
everywhere. Spike Lee had them.
the biker shorts had, but Spike Lee had shorts over top of his shit. Biker shorts ain't had no motherfucking pockets on.
I don't know
What
about
the-
that.
Oh, you said biker shorts?
Biker shorts.
I don't remember the biker shorts. I got them mixed up with the colorful shorts.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Hawaiian,
The Bermuda.
the Bermuda shorts.
Yeah.
I had
Okay.
that done
But
came
the
back.
biker shorts,
I don't
you
know
could
about
put
the
them
biker
in
shorts.
biker shorts.
I remember the biker short era.
I remember hating on people who
Let
had
me
biker
recant my
shorts.
statement right now.
Cause I could wear the shirt,
Back.
but I couldn't wear the pants because the pants fit like this on me and shit.
What
So
year
it
was
was like,
this?
this is when
Biker
Spike
shorts
Lee
was like-
didn't do the right thing. All that right
That's
there.
like 89.
Yeah, something like that right
That was
there.
89?
You wasn't wearing no
No,
biker shorts in
89.
89 niggas was wearing biker shorts.
No,
man.
not
That
right
was
then.
that.
No, not 89. We wasn't doing biker
This
shorts
was
in 89.
before 89.
That
I
was
went
like
to see do
83.
the right thing at the mall.
That was before I was hanging out.
It was bootleg
Yeah,
over here.
biker shorts
Because
was
I graduated in 80.
Nah,
I graduated in 90.
Okay, well,
Okay,
before
so you
like
were the same age
87.
too. You talking about
I just
Richard
remember-
Rosell? What, how old are you?
You said Richard Roell.
That's our man, Richard Rosell.
Yeah, that was it.
But
That's
you from
what-
Lincoln, so of course you know them all. Don Trust, you know.
Yeah, Don
Richard,
Trust.
all
He
of
out
them.
now right here, but
Yeah.
he's a weird Don Trust. I'm sorry for calling you weird, Don Trust. I know you got hands. I don't need you, but he won't punch on me. That's how I know that. Because when he got out of jail and shit, you know what I'm saying? You know, like he got out of the military because your pants is tucked in and they right here where they supposed to be with the belt on it right there. You erect and you can see the jail muscles and shit. Like you work out with your legs and just all this is big to the motherfucker. But he was just polite and all. I'm like, that's not the Don Trust. The Don Trust I know.
It changed, you know.
Yeah,
Not as much humble.
he's really, and he's a Muslim too now.
I didn't know that though. I don't think.
They had changed.
He's out real quick. He works for Rumkey, I think.
No, he got his own semi.
Oh no, he done went over for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got his own semi truck. And
So back to the script. So,
I remember he bullied me.
but
So
for
that's
real,
what-
that is the strip. But go ahead. Man.
yeah, no, yeah. Right.
There was stories too. Though.
Right, exactly. So no, I would say back to the script,
Another
not
story,
script. Back to the script, just so we don't go too
I
far
know.
away.
I know.
But so at that time, the breaking after the breaking, that was dark when dope would start coming in. So what was going on around that time, like to make niggas start hustling, like what brought that up?
with the breakdancing, and then there was a period of hanging with the Freeze crew. I became a thief. I started stealing clothes. Now these are things I didn't even have to fucking do for
This is
real.
what everybody did with
But this is what we did.
You ain't
know
know
what I'm saying?
hey, it's a big nigga that's legends in that game too.
How'd you do it? How'd you? Because when I did it, I had my method. How'd you do it?
Shit, we just stuff. We didn't have no technique. I didn't live in that game long enough to really get a technique. I used to be with James Bell.
Oh my God! That's who made me step my game up.
That's who made me step his game up. I be in Lincoln Projects all the time, Reese and all, but James Bell and all of us, man. We used to catch the Dakota bus. Eddie Griffin.
That's what caused us to start stealing cars. Cause it's so uncomfortable. You just robbed Lazarus downtown, and now you wait on the bus with bags. My method was this right here. I'm gonna go into whatever department store you got when I was 13 and 14 and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna find first of all, I'm gonna get a whatever bag you got that's in the Lazarus bag. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna ball it up with my hand. Then I'm gonna find a rack of clothes and I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna loosen up that bag and I'm gonna go shopping. I'm gonna keep going back to this rack and I'm gonna fill that shit up. Then when I got my shit loaded and I'm about to leave, me, Mike, and JJ, you know what I'm saying? Y'all had your own technique. This is mine. Right. I will see a black family that is leaving and I will come up to you and ask you, now you know what time it is? And he would tell me what time it is, and I'm walking out the store with them. I'm like y'all's kid. That was my method right there.
See, I didn't come up with a method because I didn't stay in it too long. You know what I'm saying?
Because dope came in.
How long was you doing
I'll
that?
say about a summer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? In some winters or whatnot. But I met all the dope boys from Charlie Earth, men up north. They passed away, may God bless their soul. I ain't gonna say too many other people that's still living, but I used to go to their spots and they was already into the dope game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The rocks, the powder and stuff. And I never knew what that was at that time.
So you wouldn't like.
So you just big as fucking.
So that was your beginning.
He said,
So you didn't really like in the beginning. Did you fuck with straight crack or like
crack?
it was straight for real. It was called rocks. The government changed the name.
Right,
Because when they started talking about pneumonia and all that stuff mixed into it, we didn't do any of that.
Well, that was freebasing though. Was that something different? What's the difference in freebasing?
My example of what freebasing was, just before the rocks came in, everybody was getting powder.
Right.
Richard Pryor, and what they did was used to get a tablespoon, put the powder in there, and they used to put water or something on top, wet it, and they'll burn it underneath. Like heroin, and it would fucking come into rocks. They'd scrape it on the spoon, and then put it on the glass. We call it the glass dick, but the pipe. They'll put it on there, and they start. So we just call that freebasing. Freebasing is when you have the pipe, freebasing.
Right.
And then what happened was the crack game came in, the rock game came in, and then when the rock game came in, we just started smoking Primos. You know what Primos is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, that's what turned Lincoln Park out, because the Detroit boys came down there and they found some little dirty bitches that nobody loved, you know what I'm saying, and they pretended like they loved them, and just for your crib, you know what I'm saying, and then they would, they made that shit like the norm. You know what I'm saying?
In the beginning,
But the thing about it was you came to Ohio and you didn't have no clients, you had no customers, so you created them. You know what I'm saying? And by the time we found out, like y'all turning our Richard Roselle, y'all turning our hood heroes, you know what I'm saying, into crackheads. Because next thing you know, we got primos, we got primos. We ain't got no more weed, but we got this. You know, and that's what turned
but
us.
a lot of no one's seeing how shit was going back then.
I want a shirt.
A lot of people, a lot of niggas were smoking mo because it didn't seem when the shit hit.
Right.
It wasn't like bad. It wasn't bad or good. But when niggas was getting money, it was what it was. You know what I mean? A lot of niggas that was rich as hell.
I heard people brag about it. Like, oh, you missed it, Paul. You know what I'm saying? We had Cisco, we had weed, we had Primos and shit. Like it was the norm. Like that was the new shit that they
It was the new.
that they introduced us to. I didn't like the smell of it. I remember me and Pam was talking about it. Like, I don't like that. It ain't normal for weed.
So with that being the beginning, and also y'all are a huge family. Was there any like influences before, like you knew niggas from stealing clothes from when you was doing that?
Right.
But like what other, like was somebody else, like was it like a family
How
business?
did we
or was
see
it-
that?
How did we steal clothes?
I really didn't need to steal clothes, but I wanted some money. I used to get allowances every week from my mother. My mother worked at Gym Motors. So me and Chuck and us, we would clean up the house, and every Friday we get paid X amount of dollars.
And you didn't manage your money at all.
No, because Miss Pac-Man, and the Defender, the games was out at the local drugstore. Dame Drugs or what's that? Dame Drugs.
Just snacks.
Oakwood Living.
Oakwood
You know what I'm saying? But my father and my uncle is who we really kind of like seen. You know, growing up, they try to shun it from us. My father never wanted this for his children. You know what I'm saying?
Because your uncles are your friends too. They talk to you differently than Dad did.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
You know,
so they more your
right.
friends. You ain't my kid and shit. So
Right.
they go, you know what I'm saying? They
Right.
do that.
So when rocks and cocaine start coming out, us growing up, we used to see my uncle. We was nosy. Me, Chuck, and Ryan. We was very nosy. When they leave, we go behind them and look and see what they was doing. And of course, it was drug paraphernalia stuff, mixing stuff. But we didn't know that at that time. But they was really. We knew it was dope.
It was.
You went from nosy
You know what
to
I'm
curious.
saying? Yeah, we was nosy, curious,
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? Paying attention.
I remember the time.
You know
It's
what I'm
like
saying?
you don't know what the fuck going on. Why Uncle such and such and mom's dude, boyfriend,
Yeah.
and somebody didn't have conversations.
Yeah, but we comprehend pretty quick, and we
Right.
knew what was going on because, like I said before, you know, we used to get clothes from boosters. Like when we had the holidays, we used to go to my grandparents' house on Wilson off of Livingston, and on Easter, Thanksgiving, football, like Super Bowl or the national championship.
thing, yeah.
I wish I knew you.
Everybody would be at my grandmother's house, and my uncles and aunts, besides my biological uncles and aunts, was the dope dealers, the dope pushers, the pimps, the hoes, the boosters. These were my uncles and my
That was
aunts.
exciting. You
know what I'm
couldn't wait to
saying?
get there.
I couldn't wait to get there, and we all be there, their children and them, and seeing my uncles and aunts.
Because your dad suppressed the real life shit. Like this, but your uncle said it was like, hey, this is the world, man.
Yeah, well, my uncle, his youngest brother, my Uncle Sam, and God bless him also. Once he seen that what we were doing behind their back, he told us to come over and he's gonna show us how to do it.
Because he was doing it at that age. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted you to know, you know what I'm saying? Look, I can't stop you from being you. I know what your dad don't want you to be.
Correct.
You know, but this is what you're gonna be behind your dad's
Correct.
back. So I'm gonna make sure
That you
watch
do it
your
right.
you know what I'm saying, you watch your back. Don't fuck with this person,
That's
don't fuck
right.
with this type person or whatever.
Right,
and
that's
shit.
right. See, his school. So him and my father got into it, and he said, "I don't want this for my sons. Why you teaching them?" He said, "They're gonna do it anyway. So why
Right.
not us teach them?"
Cause they was your
You know
friend.
what I'm saying?
If your dad was your friend instead of you gotta
Is
be
you trying to prove a point?
Yeah, no. This is
I was wondering, like,
You trying to prove a point?
message.
when I tell like get message right here, when I tell people you gotta be your kids' friends so you can know the real them. My mama didn't know me. You know who I was when I was in your face. Behind your back, I'm a complete different character.
That's respect.
And that's your uncles or your aunts that notices that, and they're your friends and shit, so they get to give you real worldly advice than other than, don't fuck with no bitches, do your homework, don't worry about them goddamn girls, do your homework. Nigga, I'm 13, I'm 12.
She might have did that because
You know what I'm saying? My body is changing and shit. I got hair growing in places that wasn't there last year. This bitch didn't have no titties last year in school. Now she come back and and you got titties. My dick is hard and shit.
You know why she
be my friend.
You
Mom.
know why she thought she had control of it? Because she was wearing that ass out.
Yeah, she had very many different.
Goddammit.
She was bipolar.
He ain't gonna do that. I'm
You know what I'm saying? She
shit out
had
of
anxiety. Yeah, we got beat out of your sleep. You getting your ass beat.
Yeah.
So when I sold dope, look, when I sit there and say like to save your money, I couldn't buy Jordans and shit like everybody else because my mom didn't buy it. It shouldn't be in this motherfucking house. You know what I'm saying? So what I would do is I would hide shit right in her face. Them suit jackets, we'll go to church no more. That's what I would have, like, you know what I'm saying, some dope in. You know what I'm saying? That bottom drawer, when you open it up and pull it all the way, you open my drawer up at the bottom, there's socks in there. You know what I'm saying? But you pull it all the way out, at the bottom, it's money in there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to hide from my mom. 'Cause she literally, I would come home from school. You ain't even cleaned up your shit. You just went in my room and my mattress overturned and shit.
You started out, so you was who was the first off the porch? Like, who jumped off the porch?
Chuck was. Chuck's the oldest.
Yeah.
Chuck's older than me and Ryan.
Is he?
Yeah.
I always thought you was the.
Everybody think that.
Yeah, and Chuck looked like, wow.
Yeah, Chuck's the oldest.
New shit.
So Chuck introduced us to Tom Coates and them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I lived off of Rainbow where the legendary people lived on that. The Actors, which was Paul Actor.
I never thought that.
Then his brother's name that's Sean Actor and Peppy and all them. But Monette Actors, the Actors, and just all of us grew up right there. So,
Wow. So what year was that? Like when this shit started?
What year did it start unfolding? Like the streetwise?
81.
I'd say about 87, the summer of 87. You know what I'm saying? That's when things started really unfolding. That's when you started seeing, I say that the summer of 87 is when you started seeing rock houses open up, but older men had them. You get what I'm saying? And they had the older dudes from Freeze Crew being the door assistants, opening and shutting the door for them. Here I am still looking around. Then my partner, Rodrigo's, he was cool, one of the big time drug dealers.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
Who was the first nigga you knocked out?
There's many of them, I can't remember the first.
You remember the first one? I was in third grade, this little motherfucker.
Yeah.
Them hands is huge.
What Rodrigo's do though?
Rod came to me and like, come on, bro, let's get our own thing going. And he like, you need $500. I need $500. We go buy a half ounce. At that time, ounces was 2,000. Half ounces was 1,000.
You was in ninth grade.
And I was actually.
Powder?
This was the year I got out of the year program. That summer, started selling drugs, and I was going to Briggs for a minute. Kept missing school, didn't show up, whatnot. Then I went to Independence, and
That's what the girls was.
You just bad.
I really wasn't bad. I was just on that money.
The girls was at
You couldn't keep me in school when I'm going to pick up 100,000, 75,000,
In what grade?
50,000. This is me in the 10th grade.
10th
When I
grade.
went to the 10th grade. You know what I mean? I pull up at school. They put me in a class called OWA, where you go to school half a day, and you go to work half a day. We had my partner create a carpet cleaning job, which was fake and whatnot. I remember Mr. Bennett. We had to get the information to Bennett. Bennett like, I gotta go out on y'all's job site and see y'all working. We're like, we don't know what a job site is. We only know when we get out of school. He's like, well, tell your manager and the owner, and give me a call. We have our partner call. He's like, they don't know until they get out of school where they're gonna be at. I don't know where they're gonna be at. So, that was tricking the system.
That was like that's some one-up shit right there.
No doubt.
That's some one-up shit.
That was creative.
That's very, very.
But I'm driving Mercedes Benzes.
Yeah.
I ain't even have license yet. We pulling up at Independence with Mercedes. Ryan had the Maxims with we had the gold
Shit, I remember we had
wheels
to
and
do
stuff.
shit on the Maxim.
That's why I tell motherfuckers right now when they sit there and say, these little motherfuckers got the game fucked up. I said the game was created by teenagers. When crack hit, it wasn't grown motherfuckers. It
But
was
see, the difference
teenagers
is
that was in it.
the teenagers
We made our
they don't
own.
got no. It's a difference. Like
They watched us do it.
No.
Did you listen at your the OGs? Did they give you game? And
Yeah, they
you
gave
listened
up
to?
game. The ones that I did listen to, the ones I did kind of admire and look back.
So did you-
for?
Did you ever ignore them? Like, we gonna do this shit
That's what
all
I'm
the
about to
way?
ask.
I mean, you take some in, and you of course, we're young.
I should have listened to my Uncle
knew a
Raymond
lot.
when he told
Right.
me,
Sift through it. You sift through what you need. And what you
Right,
don't
we
need.
shift through it.
because you invincible at that age. You know what I'm saying? Like, you invincible and shit. I know you telling me, like, motherfuckers be like, I ain't never had nobody tell me. Yes, you did. You had them tell you this shit went one through here, not the other, because we invincible. That ain't happened to me, that happened to them.
So what we're
Not
gonna
me.
do, we're gonna take a moment and pay a bill.
Cause I got a taste for some greens. I want something different. I mean, some chicken from our famous kitchen when they know ingredients, miss and list and not
Listen.
this. I want my cornbread this thick.
This
Pick
thick.
up the phone, come get this.
get
They got
this.
the biggest sandwiches. Ha ha! Thank you, Lord Jesus. Is that macaroni and cheese? Yup. Is that macaroni and cheese? Yup. Is that macaroni and cheese? Yup. Yup. And we so happen to have our famous kitchen sponsoring us on today, right? They don't do it a lot. They just do it on special,
We sponsor
important
every
people
day,
when we
every
have
show.
as a guest.
Famous Kitchen is sponsored every show.
Important people and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I see them right there. We getting the shit together right here. They say I'm not supposed to eat on the show. But how the fuck can you not eat? And I'm just gonna look at the shit and not eat it. And I gotta wait till the show is over. So I'm going to I'm gonna break the contract. I'm going to eat. What we got over there, man?
Our Famous Kitchen. Holler at us, we got you.
She about to tell us what you
In
got.
our famous kitchen, we have smoked brisket tacos that you can create yourself. There's the cheese, the lettuce, 2 different sauces. There's some lemons you can squeeze on top, some red onions.
Oh, you might as well rip some
There's
tops
also
off and get you
chicken,
some footage
also-
for your page.
I'm gonna take
Rip the
pictures
tops
of
off,
it.
get you some footage for your page.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
And I want a
And then there's
shirt.
the chicken also.
But what about the
There's
shirt?
chicken.
How much is the shirt?
$15.
Our Famous Kitchen, holler at us, we got you. 614-556-2174.
Ooh, yeah.
Life should be relaxing, but it's not. Sometimes we have to create our own enjoyment for many different creme brulee flavors, such as blackberry plum, strawberry rose, peach, pomegranate mango. Don't forget lemon haze and berry beautiful. Relax, keep your feet up and enjoy the taste. Creme brulee, draped imperial grape.
I'm on it, I'm on it, I'm on the street.
Street boy beats.
I'm on it,
Man, I told y'all niggas y'all ain't ready, man. We can't be stopped.
on the strip.
Slow down to the table.